This is the OCML Podcast.
Enjoy local music.
Hey guys, and welcome to episode 13 of the OCML Podcast. This one we're going to be talking about, I'm a new band. What do I do to start gigging and get my music everywhere on the internet? And I am your host, John Safari, and I am here with Kevin Martin.
Hey.
Chad Martinez.
Hello.
Vio.
What up?
And, of course, David Martinez.
Yo, what's up?
The Martinez brothers are back in the house for this one.
Hell yeah.
What's up, bro?
So, we've been asking been asking you guys on the internet for ideas and, what you guys would like to hear about in this podcast. So that's what this episode is all about. From the beginning to the end, as a band, you're definitely going to want to pay attention to the little details because they become the most important because you miss them. And starting with that, how do you get a gig as a new band? Well, the first and the easiest way is to go to the show and to meet the promoter and introduce yourself. Get his phone number, get her phone number, get the email, reach out to him. From there, you're definitely going to want to have a band-specific email, Facebook, Instagram, website, Twitter. Show us that you are interested in, when you attain your fans, engaging with them on your social media accounts. Again, don't focus on those. We talk about that a little bit in episode 5 and 6 on using social media, but do not relying on social media. So, going forward, the next thing that I would say is to have a demo video and at least a demo song, even if it's recorded in your garage, so that somebody has the idea of what you sound like. And a rehearsal video is really good because we also know what you look like and sound like at the same time. So
it doesn't matter if there's airplanes in the background or
it's actually maybe better
trains.
if there's airplanes in the background.
Actually, make sure it's relevant to what your sound is at the time. I've had bands do that to me where they send me one submission where they sound like Blink-182 and then they play live and they're like screamo, emo.
Like
type of
completely
music, and it was
completely different band.
It was like,
Yeah.
this
I've heard that a lot too, especially with the vocals.
Well, it could be like an old demo too.
That's why I'm saying keep it relevant.
Yeah.
Keep it relevant
Exactly.
at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, record a new demo, every 3 months if you don't have anything really recorded and you're just trying to get out there. I mean, again, record it live in a garage with a microphone, but keep it up to date, like Kevin was saying, because if you send us something from 3 years ago and then you show up and only one of you is the same in the band, it's kind of like, what the hell? This isn't who we listened to and signed up for this show. So,
or in most recording studios too, you can pay like $10 or whatever, and they just record the whole
rehearsal
session for you.
Yeah. And so from that, a lot of bands have also asked us. David was talking about this before, that a lot of bands have asked how do you get their music on the internet? Like iTunes, Spotify, and all those things. And there's a couple of places like CD Baby and TuneCore that are really easy, and you pay for your album. I think you pay per the year. And they put it on everything. It'll be on Amazon. It'll be on Google, iTunes, Spotify, pretty much everywhere you can buy digital music. The only one it doesn't get you to right off the bat is Pandora because you actually have to submit a physical CD to Pandora. And from what I've heard, you have to hound them because it takes a little while. So, you don't need a label. You don't need anybody really to do any of this anymore. It takes 20 minutes at most to get the album up there, and then within a couple of days you can stream it on Spotify, and that will all be recorded for you to see, where that's coming from. It takes 3 months for any of your royalties to come through too, by the way.
Even if you don't have it on any of those, you can even still put it on like Reverb Nation, any of the like actual local
What about
local
Bandcamp?
websites.
Isn't
Bandcamp,
still
yeah,
relevant?
Bandcamp.
Yeah, Bandcamp,
SoundCloud.
Reverb, and SoundCloud.
SoundCloud's one of the
SoundCloud's
biggest.
a good one for sure.
Yeah, and those are all like, free, and you have to upload it yourself. But, when you're trying to get your actual recorded finished project and music onto a platform where people are streaming it or buying it and purchasing it, where you can bring in some kind of a monetary return, you're going to want to go through. I suggest TuneCore because it's only $29.99 for the first year of your album. I think CD Baby's like $50, so they do basically the same thing for you. Next, again, your social media is important to engaging your fan base, but you being out and meeting people is the most important because you're not going to build a fan base with social media. You have to build a fan base by being out there and gigging and connecting and networking with the people that are at the show, whether they came there to see you or not. Pretty much, actually, more importantly, if they did not come there to see you, you should be talking to them, giving them a card, getting them to sign up for your mailing list. Another thing that we have a really big problem with is band logos. I'm going to let David take this one.
For this,
On you, David.
always send. I'm not sure with the EPK, but send a PNG file. That way, the designer or the promoter can actually use it properly on the flyer. Because then it just looks, crappy in some essence.
Absolutely. And then this is I'm going to get a little ahead and mention the EPK. I'll get back to it at the end of this episode. But when you send out an EPK, include your PNG file, because then that's everything. I have everything that I could have ever needed if your PNG file is in your EPK. And that doesn't get added in there a lot. And it's really cool and really shows that you pay attention to the little details when you get that in there. Kevin.
Hey. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to backtrack a little bit here. Since we were talking about how to get your music out there, I want to ask the two artists that are here.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Snap.
Yeah, pressure's on. Knowing what we just said about how to get your music out there, what did you do to start getting your music out there? How did you start out?
I use City Baby, actually. You were mentioning the two platforms, and I think, yeah, we definitely use City Baby. And it was pretty easy. It was fairly easy. It's just annoying. It's one of those things that artists really don't want to do because it's annoying.
You don't like shipping things what?
Well, yeah, there's just, things to fill out and stuff to read. You know,
it's like buying a car.
It's like, you don't want to do that crap.
By the way, before we continue,
She just wants to rock and roll. That's all she wants to do.
Before we continue, since it's your first time here in the podcast, introduce yourself and
hi,
give a little
everyone.
behind the scenes.
My name is Vio, and I'm lead singer of Afraid of My Neighbor, and I'm now joined the OCML family, and I'm stoked. And you guys, hopefully, will see me, hear me more often.
If you haven't heard her, she rocks. So.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys sound really good.
You would know that if you got off your couch and came to a local show, though.
Chad, how'd you...
I started mainly after writing my songs. I kind of made put them online, Reverb Nation, all that, SoundCloud, YouTube, even just made some funky little videos on YouTube. And then the main thing that I would do is actually just go out to local shows and try to get on a gig or open up. And that's how I met you guys in general, was meeting you guys at Down Tuesdays. And I knew you since I was 3 years old, which is a little different. But but we came in contact with actually...
You were an asshole then, and you're an asshole now, Chad. Let's just clear that
No
up.
wonder I didn't hang out with you for 8 years. I'm just joking. But,
it's all true. Don't worry.
but no, really, actually just going out to local shows and meeting new people, meeting new promoters, that was the biggest thing for me. And connecting with new bands, because those bands hooked me up with new shows when I would get them new gigs. And it's kind of just created a community about that where everyone gets to know each other.
Absolutely, and that's something that the whole entire next episode is going to be about, is the networking and musicians working together. So go ahead and tune in next Monday. Chad came to every Down Tuesdays event for 2 months. And I think he ended up with 4 or 5 other shows because of that weren't just Down Tuesdays, through other musicians that were playing the Down Tuesdays. He didn't even need to actually play that show. He just went out and met people. And I think I'm really glad that you brought that up from your experience, because that you can really tell when an artist wants to be a part of the community that they are, looking to or asking to be a part of. And you can really tell when they just want to be a part of it to get something for themselves. And the way the music scene works is you got to give what you want to get. I mean, that's really the way a lot of stuff works, but especially in music, from being at a show to watch the other bands that are on the bill with you, for the most part, we're all at the same level. And if you're not at the same level, you should be helping the other people get to your level. Obviously, you always put yourself first, but being at another show and sharing and putting a live video up, you're not playing and you put a video up. I know a couple of people who do a really great job, and I want to give Rob from Bram's Third Racket a shout-out. Every single time he's at a show, he puts a video up of every band that is on the bill, and that promotes the other local bands to his following for his local band. And I really, that is how you continue gigging, not how you start gigging.
I love his honest reviews about bands too. Like he's like, yeah, you know what, they're not my cup of tea, but you know what, these guys are worth the check out if you're into like this style of
Yeah,
music.
I've read a
Like,
few of his. They're really good.
it's an insight nonetheless, and it's a great way of exposing somebody.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like a broken record on this one, but I'll always continue to say it, is every show you are on, you have so much free promo material with all of the stuff from all these other bands. Like, your fans most likely haven't heard of them. And if they enjoy them, they're more likely to come to the show because they already know they enjoy you and they've already seen you 99% of the time.
But it's more inviting if they've never heard 2 or 3 other bands on the actual bill. So
Yeah.
it's better to actually promote those guys than yourself, since they've already know what you sound like. You know, so it's a little bit extra promo.
Yeah, and
promo.
And you know, and with that, the other bands are more likely to share your, you know, like if you share their, you know, their latest music video and you tag them, they're more likely to do the same for you, and vice versa. And you know, a lot of bands focus way too much on just promoting their own, like not even promoting their own content, just promoting the show flyer. And
Saying, I have a show.
yeah, or I have a show. Well, yeah, you always have a show. You're in a band. Like, let's make it about being, you know, the community that we are all trying to be, you know, put forward and be a part of. Let's make that and the event really what, you know, we're marketing, because it's not just about your set. It's not just about Band B's set. It's not just about the headliner's set. It's not just about the opener's set. It's about the entire experience from the beginning to the end of the show. And a lot of you guys don't get that whole experience because you don't stay around the whole show.
I would definitely agree with that, because if you stay around actually the whole show, I mean, you get to not only meet every single band that's there and actually talk to them, let them get to know you, then they're never even going to meet you by the time that you're taking your amps backstage and putting them in your car and leaving. So
Because they're putting their amps on the stage, you know? So, like...
So they might as well get there before every band, stay till the end. I mean, get to know all of them, and by that time they'll be able to have pictures, be able to know who to tag, be able to know who to get a hold of if they ever need to get another band on another gig in the future. So.
And most of the time, if you find Chad's phone at the end of the show, because it likes to jump out of his pocket, this is how he gets a CD out. Like, as soon as you find his phone and you give it back to him, he gives you a CD, and then he'll book you.
Exactly. That's my main way
That's
of getting
his strategy.
followers.
Is just losing his phone and letting it come back.
He does it on accident. Wink, wink. Ladies.
So yeah, you know, back to the...
They like to give me shit for that.
We love to give him shit for that.
It's been video documented multiple times.
Yep.
In a festival,
And he also...
recap and everything.
He'll lose it while he's dancing, and then he won't stop dancing. He'll keep dancing, but he'll also pick it up and put it back in his pocket as a part of the dance move.
It's a sweet dance
like,
move. I've
that,
seen it
one of the best
multiple
improv dance moves I've seen all year.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
But yeah, you know, gonna wrap up this episode here with just what you should do from start to finish as a new band that wants to start gigging. And you know, I do have to mention again, don't take shows that require a bunch of ticket sales when you don't have anything like band logo, band photo shoots, or anything like that, because you could be spending that money on something that will last a lot longer than just one show, and you can use to get other shows. So make sure that you go and actually meet the people that you want to work with and you want to have help out and you want to help out back. The easiest way to do that is to go out and meet somebody and get their phone number. You know,
Make sure we can find you online.
yeah, and then that's the second step, you know. Shoot me a message and, hey, can I play a show? Well, you got to show me something about your band. It's got to have a link, a photo at least. Like, hopefully you have a logo and a band page up with a demo. Again, make it a rough demo. Don't be perfect. Just get it out there and go out and do it.
A YouTube video if you're playing acoustic, something like
Super
anything,
simple.
You
You can do that stuff at home.
know? Yeah.
Two things that I've seen at shows recently is we had My Rock Band come out and play. That's an actual band. It's not My Rock Band. I don't play anything. They're from LA, but at the end of their show, they had postcards, and they were going around writing individual messages to everybody that was there in the venue that night. Whether they were paying attention to them or not, they got a postcard. That is a great way to
they got a postcard personally addressed to them with a message that was only meant for them, that was handwritten in front of them. So even if they didn't pay attention to that band set, they're going to go look that shit up when they get home, because that doesn't happen. And that's part of getting out there and why we're harping so much on actually getting out there and meeting people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have lost that art, and it's the easiest, quickest, and most effective way to continue to build the community. And with that, make sure that you get your music on the internet everywhere. It's $30. Go to TuneCore. You could also go to CD Baby. Make the choice. But
Get it done.
thank you guys for tuning into the OCML podcast. We do this every Monday. You can find us on Facebook at /OCML events, Instagram and Twitter at OC Music League. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Stay connected with bands and upcoming shows
at OCMusicLeague.com.
or OCML events on Facebook.